Hello and welcome back to Healthy Spouse, Healthy House, y'all. My name is Tony and my channel focuses on health, wellness, and relationships. I believe that there are 15 different areas of health that any one person can work on at any point in time in their lives. So every first and third Friday, I ask you to join me as I introduce, define, and discuss each one of those areas of health. And then in the end, we make plans and we make goals so that we can become healthier in those areas. Now, y'all, please don't mind the way that I sound. My allergies are on 1,000, and y'all know how it is. The struggle is real. But anyway, so let's get to it. I wanted to talk about or start my conversation off concerning marital health by talking about divorce first. Yes, I am talking about divorce first, and that's because that is one of the conversations that me and my husband had before we even got married, okay? We talked about divorce because my husband is a product of divorce, and that's his story. Y'all know how I do. That's his story, and maybe one day he'll tell some of it or whatever, but my husband is a product of divorce, and his life before divorce looked very different than his life after divorce. As a kid, his whole family unit and everything, it was just very much different in a negative way. And anyway, so he was very much affected by that as a kid, as a teen, and so with all of that being said, divorce was something that he was like, no. And the same with me. You guys know part of my testimony, that my parents, they were just teenagers. They were just having fun. They were just exploring whatever. They were just teenagers. They had no commitment to each other whatsoever. And so when my husband and I, when we decided that, okay, this is, we were just getting to know each other and everything, that came up. The things from our past that came up. Hey, this is what happened in my family, and then we decided, we were like, divorce is a no-no. It will not be in our vocabulary. We will not use divorce to threaten each other. We will not use divorce even as a choice. So that was even before we had gotten married. We had already made those decisions concerning divorce. Nope, not in our vocabulary. Whatever happens, whatever goes on, we're gonna try our best. We're going to try our best to stay together. We're going to try our best to do what we need to do for our family. And so that's what we decided to do. And I hope that that's what you decide to do also. I want to say in the end, but we're going to say, I hope that that's what you decide to do from the beginning. Right. And so, Anyway, so continuing with this conversation, y'all, I started to do some research because, divorce is just one of those things, right, where it truly affected me in a way. Like a few years ago, actually it was a good amount of years ago, we had there was a point in time where it was like a few year span where we had different loved ones get divorced. And I remember how I felt during that time, y'all. And I think all of these loved ones were believers, right? And it was a few couples, and it was like over a few year span of time. And I remember like crying out to God, and I was like, like, what is going on? Like, why are these people getting a divorce, or getting divorces? And I was just like, I don't know if I was being naive, y'all. I don't know what, but I just know how divorce affected my family, and even affected the way that we thought. I just know that. And so it was just like, how to me, I was like, you're believers, don't you believe that God can help you in your marriage, can do this? Can't you believe that this will go on, and things will be better, and just work at it, just go to counseling, just go to mediation and stuff like that. So in my mind, I was just like, what is going on? Like, but of course, I am not in their relationship. I'm not in their marriage. I don't know what's going on. I'm in my own. I know what's going on in my own. And so anyway, and so I remember crying out to God because, if you've ever been affected by divorce in any kind of way, sometimes it feels like a death, and you can be grieving even when people, before they get married and they've been together for long and then they break up or whatever, that can also feel like a death. And so it was a period of time where I was grieving. Here we go with the G word again. It was a period of time where I was grieving, and I was just like, Lord, because my heart was hurting for these couples, and for some of the couples, they had children. And so it's just like my heart was grieving, and I was like, Lord, what is going on? Like, how can we, how can we help them? Or, and I'm praying, and I'm like, well, I know the way that I'm feeling, and I'm grieving on the inside, because now this person, when I see this person, I won't see this person. Or, hey, now you get the kids this weekend, I get the kids next weekend. The kids are, it's like, it's different. So I can't imagine, and I couldn't imagine what the actual families were going through during these times too, if I was feeling the way that I was feeling. So I was like, Lord, I need answers. I was like, what makes a person, just give up or whatever, and of course, again, I wasn't in their situation. And I'm like, shouldn't we try to stay together, unless there's like things, abuse, things, infidelity or something like that? Shouldn't we try to stay together unless those things are present? What should we do? And just praying and just asking God for answers, because I wanted to understand, what was going on. I wanted to understand it a bit better, and I remember God giving me the answer, and he's like, well, people get divorced because they end up marrying people that I never told them to get married to in the first place. And I was like, well, people get married to people that I never told them to get married to in the first place. They get married for all the wrong reasons, and not that he said that to me, but for me, that's how I understood. Well, you never told them to get married to those people in the first place. So they took it upon themselves to get married to those people. And then, for all, whatever reason that they had, all the wrong reasons. And so, anyway, I wanted to share some of the wrong reasons why people get married. I wanted to share just a few of the reasons, of the wrong reasons, or the reasons why you should not get married. So, so people get married because they're pregnant. They're expecting a baby, and it's like, don't get married just because you're pregnant or expecting, or just because you have children together. You've been together for a long time or whatever. Yeah, God wants us to have a strong family unit or whatever, but you don't get married for those types of reasons. And people, that may be controversial, but you don't get married for those things, because marriage is something that you do under God and also with each other. And if there is not a mutual love or mutual respect for each other, it's like, why even go there? You can have somewhat of a chemistry in other ways, and and it's not across the board. So you have to be careful of that. And also, some people get married to rescue each other. I'm gonna rescue you from this situation. You don't have to go through that. You can come be with me. No, don't do that. Or they feel this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the natural order, or they feel, I can't abstain. And so I like you, or I think I love you, but I can't abstain. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get married, or desperation, loneliness. You think it's a cure-all for your relationship? Oh yeah, if we get married, people do this with babies too. Or if we have a baby, things will be different. If we get married, things will be different. No, I'm going to tell you right now, they are not. Actually, things may get worse because you can't go to your own place anymore. You have to stay there and work through that stuff. Or you think it'll make you happy. Marriage is not designed to make you happy. Or you know maybe you want to take care of somebody, or you want to be taken care of. You know, or you just like the idea of just being married, and it you don't really think about the person, you just like the idea. So but marriage is supposed to be something, or marriage is something that God created to mimic his relationship with us. And I'll go into that a bit further, and I'll go into that a bit deeper. But yeah, divorce rates amongst the world is at about 50%. They say I've seen so many things I've researched, and this is some of the things that I had seen. And then with Christians, it's about 25%, but on the rise. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a later video, but I just wanted to give you guys some ideas and give you some thoughts to think about. And I shall see you in the next one.